Okay, the hair looks good. You're set.
They're so dumb. I'm a whoop on them when I get.
Um, I want to hear you tell me about Nashville, first of all. Your first thoughts about the city, how it's been down here.
Nashville, I've been here several times before American Idol. I love Nashville. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. It's like a huge family. You know, everyone calls it the huge dysfunctional family. But I mean, it's a great city. And you know, it was kind of my plans to cut an album, you know, in Nashville before I end up getting signed or anything else.
So this was part of the plan. And what's this process like? I mean,
Well, you know, the process is not so bad by itself. It's that there's so many things that are surrounding, you know, the process of cutting an album. All the promo. I mean, this week alone, I've probably hit about 75 radio stations and 20 or 30 TV stations. Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, which is a great problem to have. But when you're trying to get this project done, at the same time you're trying to promote it.
yeah. In studio, though, when you're back there at the mic, I mean, how does that feel?
Well, you know, recording, you know, behind the mic, it's for me. I'm very. I should say I analyze a lot. I overthink a lot of things. So I'm always hearing myself and second guessing myself at times. Then other times I'm feeling very confident and nailing the part. I guess it just all depends on what kind of mood I'm in when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, is that a lot to do with it?
Yeah, I think so. You know, how much mental preparation goes in. I think for me, for anything, you know, I have to really prepare myself to be as effective as I can be.
Yeah. Let's talk about country, because you had mentioned a lot of people actually were surprised that he's
Yeah.
in country.
Yeah, a lot of people were surprised, and you know, when I was a kid, I was only able to listen. It's kind of funny. I could only listen to, you know, we were really raised on Christian music, and that was it. You know, growing up listening to the Gaithers, and it was around 12 years old when my father introduced us to country. It was the first CD he brought home was Winona Judd, and I loved what she did. She had a very soulful element, you know, which, you know, I have a very soulful voice, so I relate with those kind of singers. And ever since then, you know, country's had an influence on my life, but yet I stuck with gospel, and I stayed doing the churches and doing the church thing. When I came on American Idol, I didn't want to do gospel. I knew that it'd always be an anchor and that'd be my roots, but I wanted to expand, my reach. And you know, country is a music that is so close to gospel. It's influenced directly by gospel. And you know, one of the key points is, you know, Randy Travis, when he did our mentor shoot for the top 11, I was walking past the mentor shoot was over. I was walking past, and he came, and he said, "Danny, come here now." I was, okay, I walk up by him, and he said, "Have you ever considered doing country?" I said, "Yeah, I've considered it, you know." And he said, "No, you need to do country." He said, "They would love you in the format." He said, "The people would just accept you open-armed." He said, "The soulfulness that you could bring to it would just be awesome." And the wheels just started clicking and turning from that point, and I decided to go with it. And very, very happily decided to go with it.
And the lyrics are more, you were kind of talking about in there too.
Everything. Lyrics are everything to me. When it comes to music, I want the music to have a message. I like I'm just not a person who fits in like the pop personality or the pop culture. I'm a very real person, and I have to talk about real things from the heart. And you can do that with country music, which excites me. And I love being here, and I plan on being here for the rest of my career.
Really?
I really do.
All right, I got to ask, you brought up Idol a couple of times, so I got to ask about, how was the tour? Does it feel like that was a long time ago? Does it?
Yeah, the tour does feel like it was a long time ago, but I'm so glad it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really am. I mean, it was, 52 cities, and it was a very, it was a push to get these cities done. I mean, we didn't have much time to ourselves. So I'm completely glad that it's over. Although, great experience, great memories, but so glad to be working on my own things, on my own album where my passion and my heart is now.
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for American Idol, but it's just the tip of the iceberg, I believe.
Yeah. Do you miss home? Do you miss Wisconsin?
Yeah, absolutely. I've went back a few times, and I go back and I just like, wow, I really miss it here. As much as I love Nashville, Milwaukee's always, my true home. I really do miss it.
There's obviously people, you have family. So
yeah, and that's what makes it even, I think that's why I call it home. It's because of the family element that's there. All the friends, all the relationships that I formed over the years. It's wonderful.
Are there places that you have to hit when you go home? Are there certain, I imagine it's not like going home like it was 5 years ago for you,
There really hasn't been any places that I have to hit. I just have to hit family.
Yeah.
You know, hit every household and eat as much food as I can, and you know, hit up the church. You know, Faith Builders, of course.
Do you still go back?
Absolutely. Every time I'm back in town, I try to go to Faith Builders, and because that's my roots. That's where my singing really began. You know, although I was raised in music, at 20 years old, I went to that church, and wow, things just picked up. I mean, the music was just amazing there.